Previously on Ladies of Letters.
Frankly, nothing about this place would surprise me.
Why not come and visit your own dear little house?
You must wonder what on earth I'm doing here. Because the last time we communicated, I was still in prison.
There was another meeting of the Beat the Bypass group last night, and it's no longer running through your patio. It is running through your lounge.
Eventually, the governor signed a release form putting me in care of the community.
Is this house haunted? Dear Vera, please excuse this snail mail. Now one is used to the speed and efficiency of email. The post does seem a rather antiquated way of communicating, doesn't it? Not to mention expensive. But you can see I would have had to send a detachment. And at this stage of my newfangled technophilia, I'm afraid I don't have a scanner at my disposal. You will see that I have opened this letter in error. But since I'm now privy to its contents, it might be that I can soften the blow just a little. In your last E, you mentioned that you would be pleased to receive monetary compensation for the compulsory purchase of your family home to facilitate a new bypass. I'm afraid that is somewhat cold comfort at best, as it transpires that post-credit crunch, the value of the Gables has dramatically plunged. So that when you have finished paying off your mortgage, I'm afraid I did open the letter from the Building Society, your statements, again, in error. When you have finished paying off your mortgage, there will be precious little left to start again at the foot of the property ladder. I'm so sorry to be the one to bear these sad tidings, but according to the letter, it will be sooner rather than later. Would you like me to go through your things and start packing? Or would you prefer to come here and do it yourself? With all good wishes, Irene!
Dear Irene, I was so shocked at the news you sent me. Albeit having erroneously read my private correspondence, now I see the value of a password. I had to rush out for a stiff drink. There's only so much of Anthony's prune and nettle wine I can take. A very large G&T, please, love. £50,000 for my lovely home and clear out all my artefacts by Friday? What an outrage! Oh, as if coming to terms with everything else that has happened this year wasn't enough. The only redeeming feature is I won't have to deal with the Mint. Perhaps they too will be defeated by its proliferance, and it'll be found galloping across a 4-lane highway long after the rest of us is dead. Thank you. Speaking of which, Irene, whatever happens with the bulldozers, do not challenge them, in or out of a beaded bathing costume.
No, don't be here.
Well, I shall obviously have to come and sort out the move and collect what's left of my meagre belongings. Thank you for the offer to go through my things. Those who haven't already, I'd prefer to do that on my own. As to where you should go now that you too are homeless, well, the obvious place is here at Sheep Dippers. As I pointed out, the incumbents are hopeless without a grown-up in residence. Perhaps you could stand in for a while. I can't bear to think what will happen to little Sabrina without me. Or little Howie. Well, I'll get this in the post straight away. Well, that is, when I've finished my drink. Can I have another large? Right. But with the shambling Royal Mail, I'll probably arrive before it does. But at least, old friend, we'll spend some time together.
Oh! Dear Vera, how strange it was to see you after all this time and so briefly meeting each other on your own doorstep while my minicab honked. I'd like to have stayed longer to help you over the shock of having to pack up your home, but instead here I am at Sheep Dippers looking after your hysterical and incompetent children. I do hope that you are cosseting Sydney. I know for a fact that he gets very down when I'm not there. I do think it's very unfair of your Howard to ban Sydney from the farm, simply on the strength of a little misunderstanding between him and a sheep. All for now. Sabrina screaming and Karen AWOL as per. Irene.
Oh, dear Irene. I'm not one to over-dramatise, as you know, but sitting surrounded by the debris of my life, I feel this is the end of it. I found the children's toys, a one-eared teddy, a rabbit and monkey abandoned under the stairs. And one of Gerald's cupboards, no, not that one, gave up a pile of his Eagles comics, a jar of humbugs, and his favourite train set with my pet name, V, painstakingly painted on it. Oh, perhaps he did love me after all. And last but not least, my dear mum's sewing box, still with a darning mushroom. Oh, and a little bent silver thimble. And the bodkin she once poked in my father's eye. Oh, I slipped the thimble on my finger and burst into tears. Oh. So I had to stop for a drink. Couldn't find any gin or scotch or brandy. Oh, thank you very much, Irene. Eventually discovered an ancient bottle of ginger wine stashed inside an old welly. Can't know what it was doing there. Just enough left for an egg cupful. If I had an egg cup. On the brighter side, with the money so generously to be awarded by the DOT, I purchased this state-of-the-art spanking laptop. And if you've logged on to dating websites, don't take spanking literally. Yours be. Oh, P.S. Sydney's disappeared. I let him into the garden to relieve himself, or what do I care where he poops now? And I haven't seen him since. Oh, P.P.S. A worker from the bypass site has just come to the door and asked if I own a large fluffy mongrel, because if so, it's dead. Oh, we'll fly to identify. Fear the worst. What a terrible day.
Dear Vera, yet another doorstep meeting between us, and I would like to apologise. In retrospect, ordering you out of your own home was rather rude of me. I was beside myself about Sydney and your carelessness in letting him escape to his reported death. I'm sure you'll be relieved as I to know that he came to my whistle early this AM, having been off on an adventure goodness knows where. Well, it's restored my faith in positive thinking. So, I've been concentrating my psychic powers ever since on drawing good luck and money to you and I both. I don't know if it's had any effect at your end. You'll never guess what's happened now. My prayers have been answered. My dear, it's a sign to tell us where and how to live out our days. I can't believe it. You remember That demonstration at the Grosthorpe golf links, yes? Well, as usual, we were desperately short of funds, so Arthur Snushall organised a raffle, and I bought 2 books just to show Willing. Well, after all this time, they've had the blithering draw, and I've won. First prize. And you'll never guess what the prize is. A Dormobile camper van, fully fitted and equipped, donated by Ted and Mary Bellman after they'd splashed out on that new Winnebago. It's a home, Vera. It's a home on wheels. Just think of the adventures we could have. Are you game? Oh, say yes. I've always wanted to see the world, and I've never got any further than Fawinga Roller. Oh, Vera, I dare you, I double dare you to come with me and Sydney around the world. Oh, thank God I had him chipped. Well, I mean, what have we got to lose?
My dear Irene, my first response to your letter was a whoop of joy. How wonderful to have nothing. Well, apart from Ted and Marie's Dormobile, of course. And how timely your news. Yesterday, I learnt that my bank has made some terrible errors in my standing orders, and as a result, I've defaulted on my mortgage and my life insurance payments. And the Building Society are going to repossess my house. Well, let them. Let's see how they like living in the fast lane, literally. I shall cash in what's left of my life insurance. Well, I was only hanging on to it to pay for my funeral. And then I'm up and away. Oh, I can't wait to be tucked up in those little bunk beds. I'm so over the moon. I'm going to have a cup of Anthony's acorn coffee to celebrate. I popped down to Great Shag to find some suitable clothing. There's nothing more adventurous than an anorak in Little Shag. I'm absolutely spent up. I bought a fake fur coat, a Lorex sarong, a tiger print beach ensemble, a burqa, second-hand, 4 pairs of flip-flops from the Polish stall on the market, several handbags, well, a girl can never have too many, and a gorgeous bathing costume for you. After your previous fracas, I thought I'd better choose one. It's pop art swirls in primrose and vermilion. And all being well, I'll be ready by the weekend. There's only one thing, I won't be doing all the driving. Now you've passed your test, there's no excuse. I can't abide a backseat driver, especially when they're in the front. By the by, how big is this Dormobile? Space is very important in relationships. My prison therapist, Arnon, taught me that. I mean, I wouldn't say you were exactly territorial, but you did put all my things in the corner the last time I stayed with you, and covered them with a dust sheet. And then there are other, more personal functions. A home on wheels is the worst place to find out about somebody's toilet habits. And as for possessive, I mean, you rang 999 the day I went out with your brolly. And how will you be with exotic food? Oh, more curry powder. I mean, you don't even like herbs in your omelettes. And foreigners are devils for garlic. Come to think of it, how will you be with foreigners? Oh dear, I'm sounding so churlish after your lovely letter. But I can't help feeling we've had our ups and downs, and that was when we were living apart. How will we be together? Some good fortune at sheep dippers at last. Howard's very excited. He's found a financial backer.
Vera, it's lovely.
Some local chap who'd been dabbling in stripped pine. Then his partner went off with another chap, and now he wants something substantial. So that's a load off my mind. The children will be all right without us.
Like more?
No.
Do you think it's got enough?
Yes.
Good boy, Sydney, good boy. Here we go. Yes, good boy. My dear Vera, My first response to your endless emails of late was, all right, just forget it. Talk about looking a gift horse in the mouth and recommending orthodontistry.
My second response was, rise above it, Irene. She's probably just overtired. I can think of no other reason why you should spend our petrol money on burkas and lurex sarongs. Personally, I shall be travelling light. I'd advise you to do the same because the Dormobile is tight. Well, it's not large.
Oh, Irene. I woke up with a terrible sense of loss. We will be all right, won't we?
Vera, you are right to worry. I've been frightened of change all my life, and much good has it done me. Kept me unhappily married to a man who despised me, who called me a fool, and couldn't keep his hands off our dinner guests. At this late stage of my journey through life, I am damned if I'm going to make that same mistake again. Morning! Onward, ever onward is my battle cry for the rest of my allotted. Oh, but don't let me stop you. If you want to stay rooted in the mire of your own misery till death do you part, well, I'm sure. We can work it out, just so long as we keep our sense of humour. And just live and let live. If, for instance, it should prove to be that I cannot stand being cooped up in a confined space with your dreadful earth-shattering snoring, I shall maintain the attitude that you are not doing it solely... Oh, yes. Oh, look, that's nice. Not doing it solely to drive me round the bend, but merely because you have blocked up nasal cavities. Oh, thank you, yes. If the makeup facilities here are not entirely 5-star, and you are hogging the only looking glass, then I shall apply my cream puff in the driving mirror. Ah! Arthur, your Margaret's looking through the nets. You're in trouble now. Go on. Just in case we temporarily lose our easygoing attitudes, perhaps we should have a rule. We count to 10 before we speak again. Or, and perhaps this might be best of all and most apposite for us, maybe we should only communicate in writing if we're having a set to, thereby giving a chance for tempers to cool and reason to take over. Think about it. The world is very large, and it's going to take us a long time to get round it, Vera, so if you feel up to the challenge, I shall pick you up from Sheep Dippers on Friday afternoon. Hey!
Good.
Oh, God!
Do you need all these bags, Vera?
Yes, I
We'll
do.
motor straight down to Dover, cross on the ferry, and be in France in time for a cocktail. And here's to
I need
it.
that.
I'll
I
look
need
after that
this.
for you.
Oh, I definitely need this.
Now, the next time we communicate in writing will be because one or other of us is being selfish and unreasonable. So I shall take this opportunity to remind you that I am very fond of you, and I wish you only happiness and contentment and great adventures. Sincerest and heartfelt regards, Irene.
Oh, God.
No, you can't have another one. Vera.
Oh,
Vera.
listen,
You don't need it. Come on. Come on now, don't start off on the wrong foot. Get in the car. Vera.
Oh, well, if it's going to be like this.
You're safe. You're safe.
Irene, when I screamed, right, I was not agreeing that the driver of the approaching car was a buggering booby. I, like him, was in fear for my life as you were driving on the right. And we're still in England, if you hadn't noticed. P.S. I counted to 10 before I wrote this, but at this rate it needs to be 40. V.